Hi, everybody.
Hello there.
I'm Jerry.
And I'm Linda, and this is Gizmo.
We're the Newcomers. We're so glad you're with us today. We're going to tell you all about our life here in Central Florida, living smack dab in the middle of the villages.
Yes, we're in the middle now.
We used to be on the bottom. Now we're kind of in the middle.
Are we going to be at the top?
We had a great week, and we're going to share some of it with you with no bloopers today. That's our goal. Mm-hmm. No bloopers. If you love them, sorry, I'm not going to have any today. In today's show, is it really that hot here?
You'll get some landscaping do's and don'ts.
And why are there no garbage cans in the villages?
And can a widow have fun living here?
All that and more on today's show. Hit it, Wally.
Send us your questions, we've got your answers. Jerry and Linda's Mailbag Monday.
First, we want to thank everybody for the super thanks. That's a little button at the bottom, and people have pushed in there and donated and helped send a little money our way for our equipment fund, and it always comes in handy. So thank you. You guys are absolutely great.
Oh, our son's here with his wife and our granddaughter, and we've had a wonderful 3-4 days. And of course, we're getting a little bit of rain now, but we had a great time.
He is a naval officer and got a few days off and came here to the villages. And we always look for things to do, so we took him to Moontide Garden Escape.
Yes.
Now that is a store almost up to Ocala that has all these amazing yard art pieces.
Yes, whimsical.
Whimsical.
Some spinning, great big things to put on your walls and out in the yard.
Geckos.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't even begin to tell you how many different kinds of things. Turtles, yes. Angels, you name it. We went up there and it was gone. The place was gone. That was disappointing because we'd already, how we puffed it up and said, oh, you're going to love this, you're going to love this. And we called the number on the sign there at the building that was vacant, and we found out. And it's now located in Summerfield, which is much closer to us. We drove right past it on the way down. 13167 Highway 441. And it's about 15 minutes from Spanish Springs. Mm-hmm. And it's really worth the trip. It's not far. And like we said, they got all this wonderful stuff. We took our little granddaughter, she's only 1.5 years old, and she got to see all these giant mushrooms and turtles and
cows and chickens.
Cows, chickens, etc. Anyway, the folks there were real nice, and we like to promote local businesses. So if you're up that way, give them a look.
Right.
We've been providing some extra little segments for our show. Hopefully you like them. One is the video viewer question. If you have a question, you can send it in on video, about 30 seconds or less. And we'll feature you if it's a good question. If it's a bad question, we'll just throw it and delete it, But thank you for those of you that send them in. We had another good one this week. It's from Lucy Etheridge, and she sends in this one.
Hi, Jerry and Linda. My name is Lucy Etheridge, and I'm a school librarian here in the heart of the Panhandle of Florida. I've been a Florida public school teacher for 31 years, and 23 of those have been here in this high school library. I absolutely love it. My question for you guys, basically I have two. Number one, are there lots of good libraries around the villages, especially public libraries? And number two, if you guys like to read, who are some of your favorite authors and what are some of your favorite books? I'll see you when I get there. Bye-bye.
Now that's a poser. I know, Linda, you've probably been fretting about this, haven't you?
I have. There are lots of libraries. Well, there's 3 libraries here in the villages, so we get to partake in that. And we haven't gone too often. We went when we first moved here up by on Pinellas. Is that right? The Pinellas Plaza. And it was a lovely library.
Still is. It's still there.
It's still there, and we should go. But as far as books, we don't read. I don't read as often as I used to, and I'm too busy doing other things now. But I always said when I get here, I'd sit by the pool and read books, but I haven't done that.
Yeah, but they want to know if you did do it, what books would you read?
I like historical fiction.
What was that one book you were reading, 50 Shades?
No, I did not read that book.
I'm just
I don't
teasing.
think that's a historical fiction.
I like to read, but I don't read so much anymore now that I'm lazy. I like to get audiobooks. And you can do that through the library she was talking about. Once you get a library card, it opens up a whole world of audiobooks and electronic books that you can download from your home, put on your phone or your tablet or whatever you want to do. But I like action. I like mystery. Lee Child, the Jack Reacher series. There's a whole bunch of them there. I like the Jack Reacher novels. I'm also a nonfiction geek, whatever it is. I may have a book on palm trees one week and a book on how to learn how to tie knots the next week. You never know what I'm going to be reading a book on, but I love it. Love to read. Yeah. And thank you for the question. That was very well done. She's a librarian.
Very good.
Yeah.
This is from Diane. I would like to know about the clubs and their artists displaying art in the various rec centers and the art shows in the villages. Well, I don't know how many there are, but there are quite a few art shows in the villages throughout the year, especially during the seasonal Christmas time, Mother's Day, just all types of holidays. And you can find excellent artists displaying their displays from jewelry to cut glass or glass, the glass fusions. And then we also have a big art show once a year, I think at Sumter Landing, don't we, Jerry?
Yep.
With the booths and stuff, and it's quite large. And artists from all around the area will come and display. So they really do have a fantastic art displays in the villages.
You know, we will sometimes go to someone's home and there'll be a picture and we'll say, well, that's beautiful. And they'll say, I painted that. Yeah. You've got people, like she said, doing the sculpture, the ceramics, the glass fusion, painting, watercolors, acrylics,
wonderful.
whatever. And I actually was going to do this later in the show, but I'm going to show you this. Look behind me. You see that? That's Gizmo. That came in a box this week. A big surprise.
It was.
From Tim and Betty Ann O'Sullivan. They sent us that picture of Gizmo, and that is beautiful. And I got to tell you, and we've already called and thanked them, but she cried when she opened that box.
I did. Right now, it's really sentimental for me.
Because he's not been feeling good.
No.
And he's doing better, so don't worry so much right now, because he's all right.
But that picture is absolutely beautiful, and it touched my heart, and I want to thank you all very much for that.
All the way to the white on his chest and the little glimmer in his eyes. Great job. We were touched, and we've got people like that in the villages. Now, they don't live here, but it's typical. It's typical,
yes.
Although not as good, Tim. That was really good, real good. I mean, I'll tell you, that's top quality stuff. So I went to his website and looked at his stuff too.
Wonderful.
Excellent. We drove down the road when we first got here on Hendry. Y'all know where Hendry is?
Yeah.
And it goes past the village of Collier and on out towards Sweet Gum Golf Course. And in this guy's picture window, he had about, I'm going to say 10 clay busts with faces in it, big faces, small faces that he sculpted in there. And I thought, man, that's really cool.
That's pretty neat.
I'd like to do it all. I'd like to try the sculpting. I want to try the painting, whatever.
There's even a museum in the Tierra del Sol, the rec center up there, and it has a wonderful museum of artists, display of artwork, and it's great. Everyone should go see that.
Our second question today is really our third question.
Yeah.
Because we had a video
That's
question.
True.
But this question, and I can't find, we put all these on little cards like this, so we can read it to you while you're looking at it online. I can't find the card, but it is a legit question. Somebody asked for landscaping tips because they said they know that the homes come with a standard landscaping package when they're new. And honestly, it's a pretty shabby package. Sorry if you didn't change yours out, whoever. But it's very, very basic. It's not expensive. And people, if you want palm trees, you got to change that out. If you want big ornamentals, you got to change it out. So they've asked us that question about what advice do we have for them? Well, we've changed ours out a couple of times already.
Yep.
And right now we're right on the verge, and you know if you watch that we're on the verge of taking down 2 giant trees and putting in some new stuff. And we said when we got here, when things die because it gets a little too cold here because we're in zone 9A, B, right on the edge, like Robolinis, those beautiful little palm trees that have 3 or 4 or 5 trunks in our case.
Right.
Sometimes those will die and succumb to the cold temperatures. Ours has not. We're going to keep it. We love it. But other plants do succumb to, some do. So we're going to phase those out. And we encourage you, go to a reputable garden center and find out what is tolerant to the cold weather here, because it's going to get in the 30s a couple of nights a year.
Yeah.
And maybe even freezing.
Right.
So that's first of all, get plants that are tolerant to the cold. Secondly, and just as important, get plants that you like. She likes this stupid plant called a firecracker plant.
I think it's pretty. Just little pops of red.
I hate it. I hate them. We had one.
We did.
That thing was like,
It was everywhere.
It sprawls out.
It does.
And it's not good for a small bed, so I did not like it.
Yeah.
And I love little oyster plants, those little purple little balls of fun that pop up, but they're invasive, and some people hate those. But get the ones you like. You know, Alamanda's a beautiful yellow flower, and I mean, there's just a lot of choices because things grow crazy fast here.
So quickly, yeah, as you can tell from my cactus plant.
And here's a big tip for you. Get yourself some gloves. We lived here over 4 years, and I kept getting stuck by the infernal cactus plant back there and the prickly palm trees, and it will even poke you under your fingernail. Oh my gosh, they burn, they cut, you bleed.
Yes.
And I got these leather gloves. Look at these babies.
Those are nice.
On Amazon, these were less than $20.
Very nice.
I have a new life. I can go trim, I can prune, I can shrub.
Maybe you can get a job.
And you know, look at that. Those are so good. Get you a pair.
Get your pair.
I'll put the link to these on our product page. We have a product page. We don't promote it much, and we don't go there much.
Yeah.
And we don't update it very much.
On Amazon.
But it's on Amazon, and you can find a link to that, and you can see the kind of things that Jerry and Linda waste their money on.
Oh, that's not a waste of money.
But let's see. Well, there might have been one other thing. Let me think. Avoid high maintenance plants also. Yeah. The higher the maintenance, the less the pickleball. Keep low maintenance plants if you can.
Yeah.
And if you happen to have more money than we do, hire somebody to weed your flower beds.
Yes.
And keep a good weed barrier down. Don't let those weeds take control. There's something called preen. You ever heard of that? It's little sprinkles that you put out before the weeds start in the spring, and then you do it again every once in a while. Look at there, here's somebody with some low.
Yeah.
And it'll keep the weeds down. That's our advice to you. Keep it simple, get plants you love, and get plants that are tolerant to this cold weather.
And this is from Newfangled Productions. Interesting findings on the topic of commission when buying a new home. While they don't use the word commission, there is a 5% settlement charge.
Okay. This was an errant question. I was going to tell her, don't read that because it's not true. We got that letter, and there's a lot of misconceptions out there. And like we always tell you, do your own research. Well, we did our research after we got this. There is no commission on new homes here. If you find one and your sales agent takes you down there and you find a new Villages home that's for sale, you will not pay a commission on that home.
Wow.
It's
okay.
The sale price is the sale price. There'll be some fees, maybe recording the deed and that sort of thing, but as far as commission, no. Now on pre-owned homes, when you go look at those, there are commissions, no matter which real estate agent you use, MLS, VLS, whatever. But the Villages does not charge commissions on new homes.
Hey, darn it, I did the first one. Oh.
You know what, I can do this. That makes it a little bit better, yeah. Got it.
It's periodically, I have to write that. I have to do that again.
Why do you try to keep trying?
Clack. Here we go. Buddy. Not Buddy. I'm really Smith.
You know, we always try to give you.
My turn.
I'll wing it. I'll wing it. I'll wing it.
And you'll get some do's and don'ts on landscaping. I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
Oh, there we go. That was hard work.
That's because I'm heavy.
This is one from Arthur in South Georgia. I saw Arthur's name there, so I looked it up, by the way. He spells it A-R-T-H-E-R. Did you know that's acceptable for Arthur? I didn't know that. I know it was acceptable for Archer, but I didn't know it was a good art name for Arthur. But that's
I think
true.
people can spell their name any way they want.
Any way you want to. Arthur says, why do you keep trying to make people stay away by claiming it's too hot? I never had air conditioning when I was growing up. Not in school, not at home, not in the Army either. Suck it up, Buttercup.
You know, when we first started teaching, we didn't have air conditioning in our schools, and we were hot. And you know what? We ended up having some heat days. Sometimes if it got up to 85, 90, they would call the schools and say, okay, you can get to go home a couple hours early. So, and we had the windows up. I remember all that. Yeah.
I remember as a kid, we didn't have air conditioning either, and I slept upstairs. It was so hot.
Yeah.
And my mom and dad got a not air conditioner, a window fan. And that window fan would, but you have to leave your door open for that. You know, you don't want to leave your door open, you know, and the wind comes through. And our cars didn't have air conditioning. In fact, when our oldest son went to college at the United States Naval Academy, they have the largest dormitory in the world. It's called Bancroft Hall. Every midshipman stays in that dorm. And there was no air conditioning. And he was on the top floor. And we walked up there the first time we got to go there to see him on Parents' Weekend. We had to walk up the stairs just like they do, no elevators. And we got up there and, oh my gosh, the sweat was rolling off my face. I felt so sorry for him. I kind of thought, what have we done to our son?
What have we done? I know, yeah.
And we grew up without air conditioning.
Yeah.
And he wasn't used to it so much at that point either. I guess you just get used to it.
You get used to it. And we've, you know, coming from Indiana, it was hot there in the summertime. So we got some heat there too, but it is hot here.
It's beastly hot here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's real hot here.
Yeah.
In the summertime, we never open our windows and doors for the breeze. Not at 9 or 10 in the morning, and not at 8 or 9 or 10 at night.
Nope.
Because it's humid in the
Humidity
summertime.
comes in, and then you're still muggy inside.
There may be an odd day when you can do it, but there aren't many of them, and you hate it.
I do. I like my cool air conditioning.
I tried to open you had to get some cross flow ventilation here the other day, and she said no, it's too humid, too muggy, and I thought, what?
Yeah, unspoiled rotten.
We are spoiled. And
Absolutely.
honestly, if we didn't have air conditioning, we couldn't live down here.
Yeah, be hard. My question for you both is this. Are RVs allowed or authorized to be kept in the driveways of homeowners? I know plenty of subdivisions up here won't allow it. This is from Brooke. Brooke, there are stipulations about having RVs in the neighborhoods. You cannot have them in your street for over 3 days. Is that right?
Yeah, but Brooke, I'm just trying to figure out, Brooke, what do you want? Do you want somebody to be able to park an RV in their driveway forever?
No.
Good Lord, those things are beastly.
Yeah.
We had one on this street just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, pretty much.
Something like that, and it was parked out there for 3 days, and then they moved it. And those 3 days it was there, I was just going, won't you move that thing? Get that thing out of here.
He was growling.
Not really. It blocks the whole view. You can't even see their house when it's parked out front.
Yeah.
And if it's parked in the driveway, it's going to block the view of your house when people come down the street. And that's not what we spent $400,000 or $500,000 so that we could park some big old RV out in front of it.
Right.
That's just our personal opinion.
Right.
As always, it's only our opinion.
Yeah, but you have to take them out to an RV park area, and you can leave them there. And
The other day I got an email that said we are snobs because we don't want cars parked out in front.
Oh, well.
There are 99.9% nice people out there. You'll see on the Sweet and Salty after a while.
Yeah.
But we got that. They called us snobs because we didn't want cars. Like I always tell y'all, we spent more on this house than we thought we'd ever spend on a house. I don't want jalopies parked out in front of it,
No.
even if it is legal. Denise Corley writes in, I've been widowed since my mid-40s, and frankly, I'm tired of trying to find a life in a couple's world. So long story short, what's it like in the villages for single people? Thanks so much. I hope to hear from you and give Gizmo a kiss. Denise, we know plenty of single people here that have a great time.
Yeah.
Again, it's all going to be according to how much you want to put yourself out there. We're going to do further shows about that, and we've done some shows in the past. You can look them up. But we think it's good here. But I know why you feel like a fifth wheel, don't you, when you go out with married couples?
Yeah. But there are a lot of things to do here. We have a great neighborhood, and when we first moved here, there was a little club or a gathering called Girls Night Out, and they would go to each other's homes and have games. They'd have game night and cards or whatever, Mexican train, Uno, whatever, and they had a great time. They brought little snacks and stuff, and a lot of girls got together. So there are things to do if you're a widow. We play cards and bunco, and there are things like that. Now, as far as going downtown to the squares, you can go down the squares, listen to music. There's plenty of people there. Just get to know everybody. This is from Mary and Jim. One other useless question. With all the deed restrictions, can you guys have an American flag outside your home? Well, of course you can have an American flag outside our home. The people encourage it here. There's a lot of patriotism here in the villages.
Mary and Jim was my aunt and uncle.
I know.
Yeah, Mary and Jim.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think about the flags, Jerry?
I think let's all fly a flag. I think I remember after 9/11, man, this country was so patriotic. Everybody had flags out.
Yeah, on their cars.
I wish people flew flags every day and held that flag in prominence like it should be.
Yep.
And they welcome that here in the villages. It's the #1 veteran retired community in the country, I believe.
Oh, it's wonderful. And right before Memorial Day or Veterans Day, the flags people put out in front of their homes line all their property.
Yeah, the little wooden ones that stick out front.
Oh, it's wonderful to see.
Well, you'll never see a community with more real flagpoles than you'll see here. In fact, there are big flagpole businesses here, and some of them are motorized. They'll go up and they'll have a light on top because you're supposed to illuminate that flag.
Yes.
This is Patriot City here. Vince Bush says, why can't you have garbage cans put out on garbage night? It appears bags only. We were like you. We thought, why don't they have cans here? If you're a longtime viewer, also, what are you going to do here?
I'm just rubbing him. I do that every once in a while.
I thought you were reaching over here to pinch me.
I'll pinch you. I'll give you a hug.
Isn't she doing great, by the way? She has come so far. Usually she's belting out these questions and answers like a pro.
I answered his question a while ago. He goes, what happened to my question? I said, I answered.
She's getting so good. She's getting so good. In fact, it used to be very structured here.
Yes, we used to have black or white bags for our garbage, and we'd have to have clear bags for recycling. They wanted to make sure we were recycling the right products. And then we had trash bags, the brown paper bags for our yard waste. And so when we had 2 separate days for them, and they were pretty strict about everything. So, and now it's changed.
Yeah, you had the opaque bags, you had the clear bags, and you had the brown bags.
Yeah.
And then we went to a new provider that was a little bit extra money, and we get to put them all out in one pile.
All out in one bag, and it all gets burned. And
the truck comes, and you're looking at it. You're seeing it in action right there. Those are the bags. Those are the trucks. And they come and take the trash away, and it all goes to the same place. And evidently, they burn it.
Yeah.
And make energy out of it. So they claim it's recycled. That way.
Yeah, and I also heard a little tip that someone told me that the white bags are more prone for crows to get into than the black bags. So if you have black bags, they say that the crows won't get into them as much.
We've got this bleeping raccoon that is coming around every night before garbage. He is a smart one.
Smart.
And he rips it open.
Yeah.
And then he goes over to the neighbors and he rips theirs open. So we've been...
Every time we have fried chicken, chicken bones, oh my goodness, they must smell that a mile away, because every time we have chicken bones, our bags get broke into.
But we like the bags better than the trash cans. Back in Indiana, people take out the trash cans. What was our trash day? Wednesday? Anyway, they would be laying out 3 days, 4 days afterward, tumped on their side, door open.
Yeah.
And some people wouldn't even get them until the night before trash day. They go get them, haul them up, put the trash in them, and throw them back. Very unsightly.
Yeah.
It's better this way, Vince.
We like it.
Trust me.
We like it. This is from Garrett Bush. I saw Riding Through Paradise, and I didn't hear any music playing from the passing golf cars. Is it frowned upon to play your music in your golf car while on the road? And I'm not sure if it's frowned upon, but I really don't want to hear somebody's music. I really don't.
You know, we're getting older, and
Yeah.
you know, we don't want to hear somebody else's music. We may not like it.
No.
It is not frowned on. People do have it. In
Yeah.
fact, we saw a golf car yesterday that had a stereo built in with speakers and everything.
Yeah.
In fact, our buddy Jim has
Oh.
a stereo in his golf car. And some people play them when they play golf. That to me is a real no-no.
And that is a little story. When we were here the second year or so, our sons came here and we played golf together. And I played with three of our sons. And it was a really fun day. But one of the boys put on some music and plugged it in to our golf cart Bluetooth thingy. And guess what? On the 9th hole, our battery died in the golf cart. And of course, we had to use golf carts, so I don't know how many hours was on that battery. But funny that it happened when we were playing music. And that's the only other time that we had.
It has nothing to do with it, because you just said it was a Bluetooth speaker. That's not plugged into your golf cart. It's battery powered, and so it wouldn't have anything to do with it. But she did actually lose the battery.
We did. We had to get towed home.
It has nothing to do with the music, though.
It
No.
didn't have anything to do with that battery.
No.
Well, my bad. So anyway, it's time for those shout outs. Happenings around the villages this month. Well, on Saturdays at Brownwood, there are the farmers market, so that's a fun time to get your fresh vegetables and see some of your neighbors and pick up some wonderful tomatoes and the fresh market produce. Camp Villages is going on right now.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. It's a month long, and you'll have lots of activities for those grandkids, but you have to go with the grandkids, and it's a little fee to go, and you got to participate with the grandchildren. So it's a lot of fun. I did that one time.
Are there anywhere we can just drop them off?
Can't do it.
No.
Not allowed. Not allowed.
We went on a scavenger hunt. We've done several things with them in that regard.
Yep.
Takes some planning, because those activities sell out pretty
Yes,
fast.
they do. They do.
You know, we give you a word scramble every week, and we have a new one this week. Last week I made another boo-boo, believe it or not.
What?
I'd got the number of spaces wrong. I left one out of the first word and had an extra one in the second word. I should have put one space over. Anyway, those answers are all going to be on our Facebook page, Villages Newcomers, Jerry and Linda. So go over there and you'll find all the answers. And we have a new one for you this week. The clue this week is our version of the Fountain of Youth. And right there's the word scramble. Somewhere in those mixed up letters, there's the answer. Remember, when you answer it below in the comment section, don't tell us the answer, but let us know that you know. Does that make sense? I think you understand. All right, time for Sweet and Salty.
And I get to do the sweet, Jerry.
Naturally.
This is from Catherine. I love the interaction between the two of you. Oh, you make me laugh at your craziness. Keep on keeping on. I live in Houston, Texas, with no thought of moving, but enjoy looking in on your lives. Well, thank you, Catherine. We enjoy doing this for you. And our interactions are, they're okay.
I like hearing from people that, with no intent to move here, that still like to watch our show.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they find it something that they want to watch, you know. It's cool. And here's our salty comment. This one is from Gabby. Why do so many American women have these horrible, nasal, high-pitched voices as if They had ingested helium.
Are they talking about me? Well, now.
You know, as I always say, oh, no, you didn't.
Nasally, high-pitched.
She's got a point. I mean, she's got a point there.
Well, Jerry, it's time for shoutouts.
Marcel sent us this picture of his parents, Ricardo and Marta. They're from Uruguay and Venezuela in South America, now living in Indiana.
Wow.
He says they're going to come down in their RV for an extended stay to find their forever home.
There you go.
That's cool. That's a global group there, Marcel, Ricardo, and Marta.
Beautiful names. Daniel sent us this picture of a visitor that came to his front door. Wow, that's so cool.
I love those things. That, of course, is a tree frog, and it's just hanging on there giving a look. And you have a little story this week, don't you?
I do. Well, I went outside this week to get the newspaper, and then when I came back in, Gizmo started darting around. I'm going, what is going on? And then he started jumping toward the wall. Well, then I knew what it was. It was a tree frog. And it landed smack dab on the wall, and I thought, well, guess what? I have to get it. So that little booger was about that big. I thought they were small, but no, they were that big. And it was it was really bright green, and I had to put my hand on it. Oh, I hated that. And then I had to throw it outside. But, yeah, came inside.
We've done a lot since we've been married. I mean, she's been fishing, she's been hunting, she's been hiking, she's seen all sorts of critters, and she's not shy.
Yeah.
So you picked that beautiful little frog up and sent him outside. Did you get a picture of him?
I did not.
Why not?
I thought if I got a picture, he'd start jumping everywhere and I would not get him. So I didn't get my phone. No, I said, first thing I went, my instinct was put my hand on it.
Yeah, well, they're cool. I really like them.
First instinct. I wouldn't do that with a snake, though. I don't think I'd grab it that quick. I'd call you.
Jamie and Karen are from Miami. They just closed on a new home here in the Villages, and they're going to be our neighbors right here in the village of Dunedin. Welcome.
Yeah. And Artie and Milla have never visited the Villages before, and then they came and spent some time with friends, and before you know it, guess what happened?
Boom.
Boom. Now they're in the village of Newell. Congratulations to you both.
Jim and Lisa are from Buffalo, New York. They sent us this picture. What a beautiful day they're enjoying up at Sumter Landing.
Yeah.
And here's a picture they sent us back during the winter. Look at that. That's what New York's like in the winter.
Oh my gosh.
Which one looks more inviting to you folks at home?
Ashley, our buddy from England, sent us this picture of his golf cart. He says it's an homage to ZZ Top.
Yeah, he lives here part-time. We have to get the rules down, but he can only live here just short of 6 months, and then he has to go back all those, what do they call that? Custom? Not custom. What do they call that? Immigration?
They got rules.
Yeah, the rules.
They got rules.
Them their rules. But he's funny. I love to hear him talk.
Yeah.
You guys, we interviewed him on our front porch show over at Eisenhower. I don't know, that was 6 months ago or so.
Yeah. This is Mary and John McCardle. They are longtime viewers that we have had the pleasure of meeting several times. This most recent picture was taken at Brownwood Paddock Square. Nice folks.
They are nice folks. They're always smiling. We enjoy bumping into them.
Yeah.
All right, dude.
He needs to
Wake up here. Come here. It's time for your segment. I hate to wake you up, but
Yeah.
it's up. See, he doesn't get nervous anymore. He just goes with the flow. Take it away, Gizmo.
Hi, everybody. You know I haven't been feeling well. And Mom and Dad took me to the vet the other day because Mom said my nose felt warm. And the vet took my temperature and said I had a fever. And Mom said, well, what should we do? And he said, take him to the store and get him some mustard. That's the best thing for a hot dog. A hot dog! They call me a hot dog! Can you guess what happens if you take a blue rock and you throw it into the Red Sea? It gets wet. That's it. It gets wet. Okay, I'm 0 for 2. Termite walks into a tavern. He says, "Is the bartender here? Is the bartender here?" That's a pretty good one. But listen, if you don't like my jokes, send me some good ones. Thanks, everybody. See you next week.
Great job, buddy. Great job. We appreciate it very much. That's going to do it for this week's edition of
Mailbag Monday.
Be sure to tune in for Thursday's show. We have another series of interviews that we did over at Eisenhower Rec Center.
Yeah.
This one is about buying your home sight unseen. We're going to talk to, 6 or 7 people that did that, and that'll be fun for you.
And if you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to our channel and follow us on Facebook. Until next time.
See you when you get here.